Hi, I'm Samsun Lobe. Welcome to this episode of Collecting the Future. So here we have something very different. So as you know, in my other episodes I've covered action figures and now we are covering cards. And this seemed like the best series of cards to collect, and that's because it's the boys, which is a great series, but also if you look really closely, these are actually action figure cards on there. So it's an actual action figure piece with the character from the series. So I thought it was a great transition into card collecting. So for a bit of history, I used to collect football cards, Panini and Topps. Some of the more exclusive figures cards. I did that for quite some time, but I found that the football card market was very volatile. So when players changed clubs or they weren't in favour, their price could really go up and down, and you had to keep a very close eye on the prices of cards because you could pay a lot of money for them one day and they'd be worth very little the next. So I was lucky and I sold my entire collection to another YouTuber. But I've always loved card collecting. I think they're great, especially in slab form. So I was looking for a series to collect, and we already have done the video on the boys for NECA and Mafex figures, so it was the perfect choice to go across. And there are lots of different series of cards to collect. So if there's a TV series, there's probably a card collection that goes alongside it. They're not to be confused with TCGs, so trading card games. So Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic the Gathering, very different from that. These are just collectible cards. They don't have any other function like gameplay like those do. I will be covering Pokemon cards in another video. So when you get a series of cards, they come in packs, and you open the packs. You've no idea what you're going to get. And they have what they call chase cards. So those are usually the ones that have very low percentage of drawing them out of a pack. And for the boys series, there are other autos, but these action figure cards were known as the chase cards. So there are 4 variants of these chase cards. You have the standard figures, which are just black background. Then you have alternative ones, which have a blue background. Then you have the autos, so you have autos with black, and then the alternate autos with blue. So when I thought it was just one quick series of 11 cards, as you can see, that is rapidly expanding. There's still a few that I need to get hold of, and we'll come on to sort of the rarity of those in a while. So the other reason for doing this video was to talk about grading. So with my retro action figure collection, I had the majority of those figures graded. There seems to be a bit of snobbery in the grading world. I'm not really sure why. So within the action figure world, there was a US company called AFA, and they were sort of known as the de facto grading company. I had all mine done by a company called UKG, which are a UK-based company, and they did exactly the same job in a very professional way, and it was a lot cheaper, and I didn't have to keep sending everything over to the States and having it back, which is very, very costly for action figures. It seems to be there's the same kind of thing within card grading. So PSA is the US go-to place for grading. They're very expensive, and they seem to take an age to do anything. There are lots of UK graders, and we'll cover a couple of those in the Pokemon video. But all of these were done by MGC, so Majesty Grading Company. They do a great job. They are very timely with the way they do things, and for a cost idea, so it depends how quickly you want the card back. So it costs 14 quid per card, and then you're looking at between 2 and 8 weeks return. 23 quid for 14 days and £40 for a 3-day return. So again, you still have to wait quite a while for these. So the grades on most of these, I think the lowest grade I've got is a 7. They're quite thick cards, so I don't really know if you can see in this video. If I hold one side on, they're about 5mm thick. So with thick cards, grading is notoriously difficult, because if you get even the slightest ding in the side of the card, it will downgrade it. The other thing which I found, which we only sort of found recently, is if the card is not printed directly in the middle of the card, so it's sort of printed to one side, that can also affect the grade. So there's lots of things that can affect them, and it's great when you have them back and you get gem mint 10s, especially on these thicker cards, which is incredibly difficult. Whether it affects the value in quite a big way, so a gem mint 10 is a lot more valuable than a 9, 8, and as you'd expect. To be honest, when you look at the cards, you probably can't tell the difference. I mean, I can't tell the difference between a 9 and a 10 on a lot of these cards. So, you know, does it really make any difference? Well, it does to the price, but I think as a collector, I'm quite happy with the. So in terms of pricing, the cards themselves, so they're pretty cheap actually. So the standard cards were between sort of £2 and £10. Managed to buy quite a few of them as a job lot for about £60–70. The blue variants are between £10 and £20 each. Some of those are quite hard to find, especially some of the rarer characters like Starlight. And then it comes to the autos. So the autos price really depends on the actress. The more famous they are, the more expensive it is. And these autos are what we call a sticker auto. So some autos are on card, so the actual actor would sign the card itself. In this instance, they sign a load of stickers, which are then applied to the cards. So this series doesn't have on-card autos. This is the nearest we're going to get. So the autos range from 50 to 300 plus. It really depends on who you're after. So Anthony Starr was pretty pricey. I still haven't found a Carl Urban one yet, so if you know of one, please let me know. So I'd like to add that to my collection. So a really good series. As you can see, they're really nice when they're in slabs. You can handle these, you can have a good look at them. No danger of damaging anything, and they take up a lot less storage space than action figures. So that's it. The next episode will be covering Pokemon cards, so that's very interesting. So I hope you've enjoyed this. Please check out my other videos.